ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite competitors, a sports nut and a darn nice guy. From WNWO, Channel 24, Jim Tishy.
John Saunders, Gordon Ward, Joe Ashton, Lamont McLaughlin, Doug Tabner, Oris Tabner. When you stop and consider the legendary names who have been colleagues of Don Edwards, it is truly an honor to be introducing him this evening. In 1962, Don arrived in the city of Toledo, and you knew right off the bat that this was going to be a very special relationship. His very first day on the job, the Maumee chemical plant exploded. You won't be laughing when I tell you the rest of the story. 11 people died, and Don was assigned to cover that story. During his 35-year broadcasting career, there were a number of different stops: WTOL, WSPD, WCWA, 3WM, and NBC 24. Different formats, different people, different job descriptions. But for Don Edwards, there was always one constant: integrity. You see, for Don, it wasn't just a job, it was a responsibility. A responsibility to provide unbiased, accurate, intelligent, and grammatically correct coverage of every single story. There's an old sports cliche that says, the sign of a great player is someone who makes the rest of the players around him also great. Well, that's the kind of journalist that Don Edwards was. I can tell you that back in 1997, Don was old enough to be the grandfather of most of the people in our newsroom. And yet everyone learned from him, everyone respected him, and everyone loved him. Sure, till his final day at NBC 24, he still considered the computer an evil tool designed by the devil. And I'm relatively certain that he still prepared his final story on the only electric typewriter that we had left in the newsroom. But Don wasn't about glitz and glamour. Don was about getting the story right. During his final newscast on NBC 24, we presented a little special presentation highlighting some of the parts of his career, and we'd like to show you a portion of that right now. Don Edwards loves to tell war stories, and with good reason. As a radio operator on a B-17, Don flew 32 missions over Germany during World War II. Now, some 50 years later, Don has become widely recognized as a master storyteller, describing the hopes and dreams, the triumphs and the tragedies of the people in Northwest Ohio. After the war, Don attended Drake University, where he majored in law and speech. Then it was back to his hometown of Rochester, Minnesota, to begin a 7-year stint reporting news and even directing television commercials for KROC. In 1961, Don moved to Flint, Michigan and joined the news team at WNEM-TV. A year later, he accepted a job in Toledo as a news anchor at WTOL, and he's been here ever since. While at WTOL, Don co-anchored with John Saunders on the highly successful News 90 and 11 o'clock report. His next big move came in 1973 when he teamed up with Jack Mitchell on the WSPD Morning Show.
I wish that the kids starting up in the business now in news, both men and women, could sit down with Don for about a half an hour, maybe an hour, and to get a good idea of what journalism is all about, because he does know.
The average drugstore draws 80% of its customers from within a 3/4-mile radius of their store. Drug Emporium stores draw...
Don's resume has included commercial work with Don Lay, who heads up one of the area's most successful advertising agencies.
He's the ultimate professional. In my estimation, Don is the closest thing we've had to a network talent.
I wish I were an Oscar Mayer wiener.
That is what I really want to be.
'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener,
everyone would be in love with me.
We're not going to get hired.
And although his career as a broadcaster is drawing to a close, one thing will never change. We all know Don will continue to be the master storyteller.
Hey, Grandpa, now that you're not working anymore, can you please read me a story?
Don has received a number of awards for excellence in broadcasting, but knowing Don, I can tell you, he gets far more satisfaction out of the respect he has earned from his viewers and his listeners than he does from any plaque on the wall. I started out by mentioning some of the people that Don has worked with, but there is one I did not mention. You know, Don is getting up there in years, and he might have a tough time making it up to the stage here all by himself. So with us tonight, as a surprise to Don, and as an escort for you to the stage, is your final co-anchor at NBC 24. I'd like you to welcome Stephanie Roberts. Congratulations. You know, while at NBC 24, Don often got blamed for our bad ratings. It's a good thing Stephanie left town. He might have gotten blamed for this, too. This is Stephanie Roberts, WOIO morning news anchor. Steph, it's good to have you back in Toledo.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. Wonderful to be here in Don's honor. Don brings back so many memories for me, so many great Toledo memories. I remember when I interviewed in Toledo, it's been about 5 years now, and Don, it's fairly intimidating when you're there on an interview, came right up, wanted to know whether I belonged here or not. But one thing we've always had in common is we both began our careers in Rochester, Minnesota. 50 years apart. So, oh well, you know, they did have television and radio back then. But we have many wonderful memories of Don, as I'm sure all of you do. Don, we've shared many laughs, many frustrations, shared a few beers. Didn't share this, so yes, you are off the hook with the summer baby. But the one thing that I know I respect and remember Don the most for, and I hope many other of the young journalists that worked with us at NBC 24 do as well, is his ability to be a perfectionist, be a detail man. We used to call him the grammar police. And I can say, even in Cleveland, we could definitely use Don and the grammar police. So I hope you're still checking scripts. I hope you're still the grammar perfectionist, because we certainly all could use a respected and well-earned journalist. Congratulations.
Steph, would you like to put that around his neck?
I could do that.
It isn't good grammar, but it certainly raises hell with what I'd planned to say. You can tell your colleagues there, Jim, at 24, that I missed the Battle of the Fallen Timbers. I didn't get there till 1795. And all that was left was a camp in where downtown Maumee is right now. And since you don't have a teleprompter, and since I do not have the memory of Judge Weir, and I'm the world's worst ad-libber, I wrote my own script. Bear with me. The great Scottish poet Robert Louis Stevenson said a long time ago that gratitude is but a lame sentiment. Thanks, when they are expressed, are often more embarrassing than welcome. But I have to take the chance and the risk of being embarrassed. Jim, thank you for all those kind words. You did evoke an awful lot of memories. Jim Tishy, one of the finest people in the world to work with, and the nicest man you'll ever meet. See, and I missed my grammar there when I ended the sentence with a preposition, and I shouldn't have done that. I'm all undone here. I never dreamed of receiving an honor such as this, and believe me, it is an honor. I worked closely with the previous two recipients of this award, Neil Carmine and Gordon Ward. I never thought about joining them on that wall. The Toledo area has been home to a long list of newsmen who should stand on this stage. I am proud to be numbered among them. So thank you to all the people who had a part in this. Eddie Boggs and company, of course, for tireless dedication and labor in producing the wonderful vehicle that this is for presentation. To the dedicated sponsors who, without their support, none of this would be possible. It is, sponsors, so important to recognize and encourage local talent in every aspect, to perpetuate and develop it. And of course, I want to thank my family, some of whom are with me right now. They have had to endure the very rocky life of radio and television. And a very special thanks to all who believed I deserved this award. It is the most perfect fitting cap to a career that has lasted longer than I ever thought it would. Thank you again. You don't get that feeling till you get up on that stage, until you hear what the people say about you, and you see them applaud, and you see them stand, and you hear the applause. It is fantastic.
All right, Stephanie came all the way to see you, and were you expecting all of this great treatment?
Oh, no. I was not expecting anything like that, believe me. And bless her heart for coming. I love her for it.
All right, do you have any advice for kids trying to make it in the news business?
No, just keep working. That's all. Honor the English language and honor facts.